Hello, my name is Darth Wonder, and now I will tell you some interesting facts that you don't know yet. The Mandalorian, Disney a spin-off series, was watched for 1.336 billion minutes in the US, the week of December 14th to December 20th, 2020 according to Insider. It's an amazing feat, considering that this was the second season of the show all about Mando, an intergalactic bounty hunter who becomes the caretaker for an odd green alien. You know who we're talking about, cue all the Obelabas Baby Yoda. On September 12, 2020, the series won 7 Emmy Awards for music composition, prosthetic makeup, cinematography, stunt performance, stunt coordination, special visual effects, and sound mixing. Of course, awards aren't what made fans fall in love with Mando. Here are some wild and wonderful facts about The Mandalorian, from the making of to the series' future. If most fantasy or science fiction shows and movies use special effects to bring their creatures to life, it's not really the case of The Mandalorian. Indeed, the little Grogu is not a completely digital masterpiece since he is actually a puppet, or more specifically, an animatronic creation operated by a team of puppeteers. But don't think that this artistic choice is there to save money, because Jon Favreau, the showrunner of the series, revealed that the puppet cost the trifling sum of $5 million. Realism has its price. Speaking of budget, The Mandalorian has nothing to envy to other big productions like Game of Thrones or The Crown. With its first 2 seasons totaling 16 episodes, the series would have cost $13 million per episode, with a budget of $100 million for the first season alone. This astronomical figure explains how the show of the Star Wars franchise has risen to the 9th most expensive series in history, just ahead of Friends. The reason? The stunning visuals, the presence of a big-name star like Pedro Pascal, and a bunch of famous directors. In 2019, during production of the first season of the show, the crew of The Mandalorian had underestimated the number of stormtrooper costumes needed, so they ran out when filming the last 2 episodes. Jon Favreau and director-producer Dave Filoni decided to ask a local fan club called the 501st Legion for help. Several members showed up on set in their own stormtrooper costumes to shoot the scenes with Moff Gideon. A happy accident after all. Once again, the Mandalorian fans had a decisive role in the show production. In an interview with Vanity Fair, actress Rosario Dawson, who portrays Jedi warrior Ahsoka Tano, revealed that some fans of the show helped her to get the role via Twitter. Indeed, even before the actress was in talks to play the character, a fan on the social network reached out to inform her that people wanted her to play Ahsoka. In addition, producer and director Dave Filoni reportedly saw fan art on Twitter of Rosario Dawson as Anakin's apprentice and thought she would be perfect for the role. Before the release of The Mandalorian first season, Pedro Pascal had spoken to Disney's 23 magazine and told how he got the role. And it must be said that the situation was quite surprising since the actor of Game of Thrones and Narcos had not immediately understood that he would play Din Djarin. He said, "I wanted to meet Jon Favreau. I didn't care what he wanted me to do. So we met in Jon's office, which was covered with story illustrations from this show, and I noticed the Mandalorian, a Boba Fett-looking character, immediately." Pedro Pascal also added Jon talked about the story, visuals, and tone. "I thought it was amazing and finally asked, well, who am I? I'm pointing to different characters, creatures, and aliens in the concept art, and Jon just looked at me and said, 'You're the Mandalorian.'" A fun fact that the 47-year-old actor finds embarrassing since he confused the 2 characters of the franchise. While many big Hollywood blockbusters are frequently filmed using green screens, The Mandalorian takes a different approach. Even though the show's grand production design seems like it would be the work of a green screen, The Mandalorian is actually filmed against a gigantic virtual set. The backgrounds that the actors perform in front of are made with LED walls that project the environment of the show. Instead of having to imagine the world they are in, which they would have had to do if a green screen were used. This unique approach allows the actors to truly live and breathe the world of the series. Using the virtual sets helps give the show a certain authenticity that similar content doesn't always have. Comedian Bill Burr has a guest spot in both seasons of The Mandalorian as Miggs Mayfeld, a former sharpshooter in the Imperial military turned mercenary. Some fans were shocked by this casting choice because years ago, Burr made some questionable comments about the Star Wars universe. In 2015, Burr went on Conan and said that the original Star Wars movie felt like a cheesy self-help book put in outer space with like Muppets. Years later, Burr ran into Jon Favreau at a party, and Favreau approached him with the opportunity of appearing in a show he was doing, which turned out to be The Mandalorian. When Burr explained that he had been vocal in public about his disdain for the film series, Favreau reportedly thought the actor's history with the series would add even more to the role. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the interesting facts. See you in the next video.